First of all, we have to learn the topic of the covariance and correlation. Okay, and after that, we have to learn the other types of the distribution. Now, tell me first of all, which types of distribution we saw in here? No, no, types of the distribution. Distribution means graph. Which type of graph? Not that type of distributions. That is, first of all, we saw the normal distribution, otherwise Gaussian distribution, right? That we saw type of the graph, bar plot, and which one another histogram, right? Just we saw the one type of distribution, that is the normal distribution, and it is also known as the Gaussian distribution. Okay, okay. Now, after this, log normal distribution, then mm, okay. First of all, let us continue our important and theoretical topic of covariance and correlation. That means now we have to find out the relationship between x and y, and that is mainly used for the machine learning. Yeah. Okay. Now, what we have to learn first of all, write down your topic name. That is the covariance and correlation. Okay. Now here mainly what we have to do, we have to find out the relationship between x and y. Okay. Now let us take one example for the x and y. This is x and this is y. Now we have the data like 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay. And for the y we have the 3, 5, 7, 9. Now tell me, do you think that there is any relationship between x and y? Look at there carefully. Look at there. Is there any pattern? Look at x and y. Now look at here. What is pattern here? Now whenever x is 2, y is 3. Difference is 1. Whenever x is 4, y is 5. Difference is how much? 1. Now here we have 6 and y is 7. That means here, now what is this? Correlation between x and y. That means wherever, now if I will draw the relationship diagram between them. Now whenever, look at here, whenever our x is increasing, our y is also increasing, right? Now here are we have the four types of the relationships. Now another type maybe will be whenever our x is decreasing, our y is, let us say, increasing. Okay. Now whenever our x is increasing, our y is decreasing. Now x is decreasing, y is decreasing. Now these are the four possibilities, right? These are the four possibilities. Okay. Now now here I am drawing one diagram. Look at this diagram carefully. This is our x and this is our y. Okay. Now here let us say that I am drawing one data like this. Okay, now here what is the correlation? Here what is the correlation? Tell me. This is straight line, but what is the correlation here between x and y from this? No, no, no. I am asking the what is the relationship here between x and y? That means whenever our x is increasing, our y is also increasing, and reverse order, x is decreasing, our y is also decreasing. Now this is the correlation between x and y, and that is going to be your first algorithm in a machine learning, right? Now you have to learn there the best fit line, otherwise you can say simple linear regression. There you are going to learn that topic. Okay, now this is the possibility. Okay, now if we have to write down this correlation between their formulas. First of all, we are going to write down covariance. Covariance. Okay, now we have to find out the covariance between x and y. So at that time, what we have to find out, relationship between this x and y. That's why we have to take these two values. Now if we have to find out the correlation between them, so we will do the summation of I is equal to 1 to n, means from 0 to end all data. Okay, we will do the summation of all data, but which type of data? Now that is the important. Summation means we are doing addition, but which area? Now that area is x of I minus x hat. That means your actual data, and another one is x. That means your actual data and predicted data, right? Actual and predicted. Similarly for your y of I and your y bar. Okay, minus. This is your actual and predicted. Actual means whatever there will be. Now let us say there is a 2 and you predicted there as a, let us say, 3. So 2 minus 3 will be 1. How much? Minus 1. So here value will be minus 1. Okay. Now after this, here n minus 1. Now what is n? Total number of data, right? Okay. Now we have to now find out the variance of only x, only single x. So at that time we will do the summation of I is equal to 1 to n and all data x of I minus x, x bar square, y square. Now why we are doing square? What? No, 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 no. I am asking that why we are doing square here, because we are getting some negative data, right? Similar like this way, if it is getting minus 1 and we will do a square of minus 1 will be plus 1, right? And that is the stats behind it. And n minus 1 if we are taking for the variance of the only x. Okay, now y minus, huh? Huh? कुठे? कुठे कुठे? नाही नाही, आता आपण अजून त्याला स्प्लिट करणार आहोत खाली. Now formula. Now look at here. Here is the square. Now again, if we will do I is equal to 1 to n summation of x of I minus x bar into x of I minus x bar divided by n minus 1. Okay, that is the our formula for our variance of the x. Okay, now uh, if we have to find out the covariance of x comma y. Okay, now here are the again that four possibilities. I will divide this into 2 by 2. Okay, now whenever our x is increasing, our y is increasing. Okay, now we are considering this for the positive covariance, right? This is our positive covariance. Now whenever our x is decreasing, our y is also decreasing. That means this is also positive, means they are similar on one side, right? Now what is the inverse of this? Whenever our x is increasing, our y is decreasing. Similarly, whenever our x is decreasing, our y is increasing, and this is known as a negative covariance. Okay, now let us complete whatever we have taken. Now example of this, we have the data of x and y. Okay, now let us find out with this formula here. Now here we have to find out the covariance between x and y. Okay, now summation of I is equal to 1 to n x of I minus x bar bracket y of I minus y hat. Okay, now n minus 1. Now let us fill all the values here. Now look at here what we have. First of all, our data. Now let us copy this data here. Okay, now we have this data. Now from this data we have what we have to do. X of I, that is our 2, minus our predicted is which one? Okay, this is our x of I. 3. Okay, okay. Now look at here. We are now checking with this. What is this order now? 2, 4, 6, 8. Now we have to first of all find out this. What is the pattern here? Okay. Now x of I minus, we will do the 4 now. Look at here. X of I minus 4 now. Okay. Now into multiplied by y of I, means whatever is our I here, 3 minus 5. Okay, and now we will do the addition. That is this, that is this formula. X of I means whatever we have first one, and x of bar means whatever next data we have. Okay, that is the meaning. Okay, corrected. Now similarly we will do all this for the remaining data. That is for the what? 4. Okay, uh, let me check that again. 4, 6 minus 4. Yeah, what we have here for the 4 minus 6, right? 4 minus 6. But why there is, okay, 4 minus 6, and then not, this is multiplication, right? And what we have here, 5 minus 7, multiply now plus, now 6 minus 8, 7 minus 9. Okay, divided by n minus 1, means 1 2 3 4. 4 minus 1 will be 3. Okay, now let us do this calculation. 2 minus 4 will be minus 2 into multiplied by minus 2, right? Keep it in a bracket. Now 4 minus 6 will be minus 2 into 5 minus 7 will be minus 2. Okay, plus 6 minus 8 minus 2 into minus 2. Okay, divided by 3. Okay. Now this will be 2 into 2, 4 plus 4 plus 4 divided by 3. 12 divided by 3. That means 4. What is this 4? Now 4 positive covariance, right? X and now 4 is the, now look at here what we have to write down here. X and Y are having a positive covariance, right? There is the relationship between X and Y will be positive, that is known by this formula. Now that is right. Whenever our X is increasing, our Y is also increasing, right? Now what are the advantages of this? Now it is, first of all, what is positive advantage? Relationship between X and Y. We get to know that what is the relationship between X and Y. Let us say that we have the data like X, Y, and Z. Now here we can find out that what is the relationship between X and Y. That is positive relationship between, right? Now what is the relationship between X and Z? Let us say that we will get to know that okay, this is a negative, otherwise positive. So we will get the column wise our relationship between data, right? What is the relationship between our X? What is the relationship between our Y, right? There we will get some patterns. Okay. Now what is the disadvantage of this? Disadvantages of this: covariance does not have a specific specific limit value. Now that means it is going to show you any values, right? But sometimes we need a limited values like okay, we have to need a correlationship like only this much. But whenever we are doing addition, it will come between your negative infinity to positive infinity, right? So that is going to matter after some time, but as of now it is not going to matter. Okay. Now this is the part of your covariance and the correlation. Okay. Now कोणचं? X and Y. एक्स अँड वाय हे फक्त एक एक्झाम्पल आहे. तुम्ही वाय विथ डी कोणत्याही कॉलम सोबत तुम्हाला जर रिलेशनशिप फाइंड आउट करायचं आहे या कॉलम आणि या कॉलम मध्ये, तर ते तुम्हाला फाइंड आउट करून मिळेल. याची पॉझिटिव्ह गोष्ट आहे. ओके. पण हे एक टाइम नंतर काम तुम्हाला नाही करणार, कारण खूप मोठ्या व्हॅल्यू झाले तर त्याचं तुम्हाला काही मिनिंग नाही येणार त्याचा. ओके. दॅट इज द डिसएडव्हान्टेज ऑफ दिस. ओके. Now, last part that we have remaining, that is our distributions, right? Distribution. Okay. Now, let me check that first of all. Mm, Okay, great. Now we have to learn such a important distribution, that is log normal distribution. Log normal distribution. Now, why we have to learn this distribution? Let us say that we have a data something like this. We have the data something like this, and we have to convert this data into normal distribution. Normal distribution means like this. So this is your mu, right? And what is this, right? We have to convert this data into this format by using log normal distribution. Okay. Now here you have to first of all get meaning what is this normal distribution. This is used for the continuous random values. That means, can we use this one for the categorical? Look at there, what we have written there. Remember, now tell me, continuous values. Random is the word. Just continuous values means values such like 1, 2, 3, 4.5, whatever we have. Right? Now, this is used for continuous values. That is that we have something graph like this, continuous values. Then we have to convert this graph to the normal distribution. Okay. Now, uh, you can also, if Google it, that Wikipedia, that of log normal distribution. Now, look at here at Wikipedia. Okay. Now, look at here. Uh, this is our log normal distribution. Now, look at here. We have such data like this for the alpha is equal to 1. But whenever we are changing the value of this alpha for the next time, now it is the 0.5 here, and now here 0.25. So at that time we are getting data like this distribution, right? So this is done by the formula, but we are not going to do anything inside the formula, right? All things are done by whom? कोण करणार आहे सर्व काही गोष्टी? पायथन करणार आहे, राईट? पायथन करून देणार आहे तुम्हाला, राईट? आता हे पाहिलं तर खूप कॉम्प्लिकेटेड मॅथ्स आहे, पण आपल्याला हे कॉम्प्लिकेटेड मॅथ्स शिकायची गरज नाही. कारण का, ऑलरेडी तुम्हाला इझी टू यूज करून दिलेला आहे पायथन या लँग्वेज मुळे. त्यामुळे आपल्याला हे कसं आलं आहे, तर तुम्हाला पर्सनल इच्छा असेल तर तुम्ही याचा अभ्यास करू शकता. पण आपल्याला फक्त याचा काय करायचा आहे, उपयोग करायचा आहे, राईट? Importing that specific library, right? Now I am writing the formula. Now we have to get our x with using log normal. There we have to mainly use this two values, mu and the sigma square. Okay, so log normal, this is done by logarithmic ट्रान्सफॉर्मेशन. ओके, म्हणजे काय होणार आहे, आपल्याकडे ज्या जुन्यावाल्या व्हॅल्यूज आहेत, समजा हा आपला जुना डेटा आहे असावाला, राईट? तर याच्या जे काही व्हॅल्यूज आहेत, या व्हॅल्यूज त्यांनी या लॉगच्या आतमध्ये फॉर्म्युला, त्या मॅथमॅटिक्सच्या फॉर्म्युलामध्ये ठेवतील. त्यानंतर त्याच्या आतमध्ये तुम्ही व्हॅल्यूज ठेवल्या तर तुमचा ग्राफ नंतर असा दिसेल, राईट? हे सिंपल लॉजिक आहे याच्या मागचं, लॉगरिथमिकच्या मागचं, right? And that is the main what, that is your normal distribution, right? You can draw diagram like this. We have the data like this, and after the log normal distribution we have converted this graph into this normal distribution, right? Okay, but why we have to convert our data into this normal distribution? Tell me, tell me. काय काय? हा, राईट. तर तिथे काय आहे, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल वी विल गेट अवर मिडल नंबर, middle data point, and here our data is now at equidistance. where our every data point is at equidistance, and then we can use our tests, something like z test, right? Right. So, and from that test we will get to know that where our data is falling, how much percentage of data is our falling, right? That is our main purpose, and this is mainly used for our model will get trained effectively, essentially, otherwise effectively. That means whatever we are going to create our machine learning model, so at that time that model will be get trained efficiently. त्या मॉडेलला समजायला सोपं जाईल हा वाला डेटा, राईट? कारण हा कॉम्प्लिकेटेड डेटा आहे, त्याच्यामध्ये त्याला काही रिलेशनशिपच नाही फाइंड आउट होणार, राईट? That is your normal distribution. Similarly, now if we will take the examples for this log normal distribution, okay, where we can see that weather distribution, right, of world. You should know at least something, two or three examples to get meaning of this. Similarly, like salaries, salary distribution, salaries distribution, right? We can do the distribution of these things, right? Because it is having this type of data, which type of data? Continuous, first of all, right? Now, salaries distribution of company. In a company, if we will take the distribution of salaries of each person, so there will be graph, but that graph will be having something like this: some person having high salary and some are having low salary, right? Now we have to convert this data to the normal distribution, right? Now, third example, people writing length of comments. Now this is the interesting one. Now let us say that we are taking one video. Okay. Now there are few people who write comments like only nice. Some people only write like a thumb, good. Some people write lengthy comments. I love this song. That's why I came here. This is my very favorite song. Unnecessary data loss, right? Now this is the length of comment. This is also length of comment. This is length of comment. So again here we will saw distribution like this, right? Interesting example. Now last one, users spending spending time time in let us say that Instagram, right? Some people, otherwise some students have their average, let us say that you spending average time in Instagram. So some having the 10 hours, some having 8 hours, some having 5 hours, right? So this will be data like this. So these are the some basics example. Now let us plot a graph that we have considered. Now, what we have to plot, let us say that we are plotting the data of salary of employees. Okay. Now, let us say that this is the salaries of people in entire world. Right. Now, This is the maximum area covering. Now, who are these peoples? Right? Now, these are the peoples. Mostly, you can say that Adani, Ambani, Sundar Pichai, right? Let us say that Sundar Pichai is falling here, Ambani is falling here, Adani is falling here, Elon Musk is here at middle point, right? They are having the maximum, let us say, salaries, and where we are, where at this at negative. So you have to work on your area, right? Right now, this may be for your fresher time. Then you may get till here, right? जायचं आहे का नाही इथेपर्यंत? At least go till here. At least go till here. That means some normal people are at least living their life in a normal way. That means they are enjoying everything. Don't go at this position. Okay. Now this is the first distribution, log normal distribution example. Now after this we have to learn that power law distribution. Okay. Now this is again one type of distribution which is used for the continuous data. Okay. Now what is the specialty of this power law distribution? Remember that we are mainly not going to use all this description, but we should know about this distribution, right? So it is having the 80 percentage, 20 percentage rule. Okay, it is having 80 percentage and 20 percentage of a rule. Now look at here, what is that rule of 80 percentage as 20 percentage? Okay, now let us say that our data, our distribution is like this. Okay, our distribution is like this. And why it is known as 80 and 20 percentage? Because your, let us say that your 80 percentage of data is falling here and 20 percentage of data is falling here, right? Now let us take examples, real world examples of this power law distribution in our real life. First one is the IPL game. Now why IPL game? In a IPL game, there are only 20 percentage of a team. Only 20 percentage of a team is responsible for winning. Responsible for winning, and 80 percentage of match, right? That means let us say that we have the team of 10 players. Okay, out of that 10 players there are only 20 percentage of people. Let us say that out of them only uh, two players, those who are doing their batting, who is doing also fielding, who is doing also bowling, and they are only responsible for the winning of a match, right? That is the example, right? Now another example we can take, that is the 80 percentage of the hmm, 80% of the cells, 80% of the cells in a 80% of the cells in Amazon, let us say that in Amazon company is derived by from 20 percentage of the products. समजलं का काय आहे याचा मी हा नीट सांगा त्याचं काय तुम्हाला कळालं. ओके चालू होते आत्ताच झालेला इश्यू. ओके now look at here, this is our 100% of cell, and from this 100% of the cell there is your 80% of a cell. Okay, this is only done by, let us say that, electronics products, right? Now let us draw another circle for the products. Okay, now from these products, let us say that here is the 20% of products of the electronics, and these electronics products are doing 80% of sale of Amazon, right? Means if we will draw the diagram, so from this data, this sales is done by your electronics products, and your this is your 80% of a sale from entire, and this is your others sale. Okay, this is your, let us say that, your cosmetic, otherwise you have on a clothing, all these are coming on others category, right? This is one also perfect example of which type of data, power law distribution, power law distribution. Okay, now another example. Now there are some interesting example. Third one example we are looking now, that is 80% of the wealth, which saw wealth, that means, now tell me what is meaning of wealth is what? Wealth, paise, distributed among from 20 percentage of the people, राईट? म्हणजे जगामध्ये जो 100% पैसा आहे त्याच्यापैकी 80% जो पैसा आहे तो 20% लोकांकडेच आहे, राईट? बाकीचे इथे आहेत, राईट? सिंपल. याचा पण ग्राफ सेम तसाच येईल. इंटरेस्टिंग आहेत एक्झाम्पल्स. नाव लास्ट वन, 80%. दिस वन इज ऑल्सो इंटरेस्टिंग. 80% of the project in a company for tomorrow whenever you are going to work, 80% of the project is completed by 20% of team. म्हणजे तुमच्या 10 जणांच्या टीम मधली फक्त 2 जणांमुळे तुमचा हा 80% प्रोजेक्ट कम्प्लीट होतो, बाकीचे फक्त तिथे नावाला असतात, राईट? This is the example of power law distribution. Okay, Okay. Now again there is the another type of distribution, that is the Pareto distribution and exponential distribution. Okay. What? Yes. And mm, what? Bernoulli distribution. Okay. Now let me show you that Bernoulli distribution on your Wikipedia, because we are not going to draw all that diagrams because we are just learning. We are not going to use specifically all these things here. Bernoulli distribution. Okay. Bernoulli distribution. No, first of all, we have to look for a Pareto distribution. Okay. Now look at here the diagram. It is starting from your y and it is ending at your x. Whenever you have definite your values of alpha. Okay. Now this is the blue color, right? Now whenever your alpha value is 2, it is starting from the 2 to your here, right? So this is your which one distribution? Pareto distribution. Okay. Now after the Pareto distribution, we have to let me check that in a Wikipedia. There is also continuous distribution, exponential distribution. Okay. Now if we will do the continuous distribution of this Pareto, okay, so it will be looking like this inverse, right? It will be looking like this. Okay. So these are the distribution. Now we have to look out Bernoulli distribution. झालं होते का तुम्हाला हे तेव्हा तेव्हा हा तो वेगळा होता तो थोडा ओके ओके नाउ हियर you have data something like a seasonal. ओके इथे तुमच्या व्हॅल्यूज जे आहेत ते 0 to 1 मध्ये येतात. ओके याचे आपण विकिपीडिया ओपन करूया. ओके नाउ हियर it is mainly depend on your values, what values you are taking. या तुमच्या सिमिलर व्हॅल्यूज येत आहेत दोन्ही बाजूला, म्हणजे हा ग्राफ इकडे पण तेवढाच आणि इकडे पण तेवढाच येत आहे, राईट? तर याचं बघा, याचं जर तुम्ही डिव्हिजन केलं तर हे असं येतं नॉर्मल डिस्ट्रीब्युशन मध्ये, राईट? तर आपल्याला एंड ऑफ द डे हे याच्यामध्ये कन्वर्ट करायचं आहे, राईट? कारण हे नॉर्मल डिस्ट्रीब्युशन तुम्हाला इथे म्यू येत आहे, म्यू प्लस 0 म्हणजे जे काही तुमचा डिफरन्स आहे, राईट? पण मोस्टली तुम्ही हे सर्व काही गोष्टी तुम्हाला फक्त इन केस केव्हा यूज करायचे असतील तर तेव्हा तुम्हाला सफिशियंट टाइम मिळेल स्टडी करण्यासाठी. पण मेनली जास्त तुम्ही या गोष्टी यूज नाही करणार. फक्त मी तुम्हाला या डिस्ट्रीब्युशन दाखवायचे होते. ओके नाव लास्ट वन डिस्ट्रीब्युशन पाहूया, दॅट इज युअर पॉइजन डिस्ट्रीब्युशन. Okay, now this is mainly made up of your bar graph, you can say that. Now look at here, this one is a little bit tricky. Okay, this one is little bit tricky. Now this is value whenever taking, that is of alpha. Now which one is this? For alpha is equal to 1, so it is falling like this way. It is falling from here to here. But whenever you are changing your value of alpha, now it is coming as a here to here. Whenever we are taking alpha is equal to 10, it is something near to normal distribution type. Okay, so these are the distribution. तर हे तुमचे डिस्ट्रीब्युशन्स आहेत. मेनली तरी तुम्ही याच्यापैकी आपल्याला पहिले वाले जे जास्तीत जास्त वेळा यूज करायचं आहे. सिमिलरली लाईक पॉवर लॉ डिस्ट्रीब्युशन 80% तुम्हाला कोणते वाले यूज करायचं आहे? या 10 डिस्ट्रीब्युशन पैकी तुम्ही कोणते वाले डिस्ट्रीब्युशन मेनली यूज करणार? नॉर्मल, अदरवाइज गॉसियन डिस्ट्रीब्युशन, राईट. तर हा तुमचा स्टॅट्सचा पार्ट होता. मला एक गोष्ट सांगा, तुम्हाला स्टॅट्स मध्ये काही हार्ड वाटले आहे का? नक्की समजले आहे काही हार्ड आहे का स्टॅट्स? फक्त तुम्ही जर याची रिव्हिजन जर तुम्ही टाइम टू टाइम केली असेल घरी, तर तुम्हाला या गोष्टी पुढे जाऊन खूप हेल्प करणार आहेत. आता तुम्हाला याची ताकद नाही कळणार हे का गरजेचं आहे? जेव्हा तुमचा मशीन लर्निंगचा पार्ट सुरू होईल, तेव्हा तुम्हाला कळेल की अरे यार याच्यामध्ये एवढं इझी होत आहे, राईट. त्यामुळे मी तुम्हाला आता परत एकदा सजेस्ट करेन की तुम्ही याची रिव्हिजन कंटिन्युअसली ठेवा, राईट. तर याच्यानंतर आपल्याला टॉपिक जो स्टार्ट करायचा आहे तो टॉपिक एसक्यूएलचा घ्यायचा आहे, राईट. तर तो घेऊयाच आपण. तो एसक्यूएल घेऊन आपल्याला नेक्स्ट एक्सेल पासून स्टार्ट करायचा आहे, राईट. एक्सेल नंतर पॉवर बीआय नंतर मशीन लर्निंग. ओके, तर असा तुमचा सिलेबस असेल. तर तुम्हाला काय करायचं आहे? तुम्हाला तुमच्या लॅपटॉप मध्ये एक्सेल असेल, ते लॉग इन वगैरे जे काय असेल ते इन्स्टॉल करून घ्यायचं आहे, राईट. असं काही रिक्वायरमेंट नाहीये की लेटेस्ट वालच पाहिजे असं काही. कारण तुम्हाला पांडाच येत आहे, त्यामुळे मला माहित आहे तुम्ही एक्सेलला थोडं तुम्हाला ते हार्ड वाटेल. कारण त्याच्यापेक्षा इझी गोष्टी तर आपण पांडाज मध्ये करतो. पण एक्सेल एकदा तुम्हाला कळालं की काही अवघड नाही, खूप इझी आहे. कारण आपण ऑलरेडी त्याचा ऍडव्हान्स पार्ट यूज करून बसलेलो आहोत पांडाज, राईट. तर एक्सेल आपण पाहणार आहोत. एक्सेल मध्ये आपल्याला फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल इंट्रोडक्शन पाहिजे आहे की ज्याला कोणाला एक्सेल माहित नसेल. त्यानंतर एक्सेलचे जे टॅब्स आहेत, राईट, त्याच्यामध्ये जे कॉलम्स आहेत तर ते आपल्याला पाहायचे आहेत. त्यानंतर आपल्याला एक्सेल मध्ये कंडिशन्स पाहिजे आहेत. कंडिशन्स कसे यूज करायचे, राईट. तर हा पार्ट आपण एक्सेल मध्ये आपण स्टार्ट करूया. कोणाला काही डाऊट असेल तर विचारू शकता. हा, आणि मला तुम्हाला एक गोष्ट सांगायची आहे की तुमचा सिलेबस मॅक्सिमम आता संपत आहे. तर तुम्ही तुमचे जे काही ग्रुप असेल तुमच्या ग्रुपमध्ये एक दुसऱ्यांशी तुम्ही तुमचे स्टडी बाबतीत जे काही कम्युनिकेशन असेल ते तुम्ही स्टार्ट ठेवा. जसं की तुम्ही काय करू शकता, तुम्ही डेली 1 आवर तुम्ही गुगल मीट वरती कनेक्ट होऊ शकता. एक दुसऱ्यांशी डिस्कस करू शकता की हा पाठ झालेला आहे, याच्यामध्ये आपण काय शिकलेलो आहे. किंवा तुम्ही एक दुसऱ्यांशी जो टॉपिक तुम्ही इथे शिकलेले आहात, तुम्ही इंग्लिशमध्ये एक दुसऱ्यांशी डिस्कस करू शकता. ज्याचा फायदा तुम्हाला इंटरव्ह्यू मध्ये होणार आहे, राईट. तुम्हाला वाटतं ना की माझं कम्युनिकेशन थोडं हे आहे, तर मी हे सजेशन सर्वांना देईल की सर्वजण तुम्ही डेली ऍटलीस्ट 1 तास तरी दुसऱ्यांशी डिस्कस करा गोष्टी. म्हणजे याच्यामध्ये तुम्हाला एक्स्ट्रा अजून काही करता येईल याच्या बाबतीत तुम्ही डिस्कशन करू शकता, राईट. आणि तुम्हाला जर रिझल्ट सांगतो जर तुम्ही असं केलं कराल तर तुम्ही पुढे जाल आणि तुमच्या ग्रुपमध्येही एक दुसऱ्यांना मदत होईल, राईट. तुम्हाला ज्या गोष्टी चार माहित नाही त्या तुम्हाला दुसऱ्यामुळे कळतील. पण हे केलं तर त्याचा फायदा आहे, नाहीतर काही नाही. मार्केट खूप मोठं ओपन झालेलं आहे. खूप तुमच्या रिक्वायरमेंट्स येत आहेत. तुम्ही जर पाहत असाल जर LinkedIn वरती किंवा Indeed वरती फ्रेशर्ससाठी खूप ओपनिंग ओपन झालेलं आहे, राईट. त्यामुळे मी सजेशन देतोय की जेवढा टॉपिक होत जाते तेवढ्या गोष्टी तुम्ही क्लिअर करून ठेवा. म्हणजे नंतर वेट नाही काढावं लागणार तुम्हाला. ओके, तर आज आपण इथे थांबूया. उरलेला पार्ट आपण उद्या कंटिन्यू करूया.